VisRing, a display extended Smartring for nano visualizations. And this is a project led by Taiting Liu from Penn State University. And unfortunately, Taiting is not physically here. Oh, you are here. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So, all right. So both Taiting is here today. And both Taiting and Christian Krauter from University of Stuttgart will be presenting VisRing.
This one. Yeah. Hi, everyone. So I'm Taiting, and this is Chris, my co-first author. So we are excited to show you the VisRing, a display extends smart ring for the nano visualization. So why we want to integrate a display within the form factor of smart rings? First, it's always visible, so your hands are already in view while you can talk or holding a ticker. So there's no wrist raise and no phone check. Second, you can catch the message with a quick glance, just a split and no bending and no readings. Lastly, it can stay private. Only you can see the message. So let's start with what we have today. The smartwatch. It gives the rich visuals, but they are buggy, slightly big, and noticeable. Second, for the wristbands, it's lighter, but they have tiny screens constrain what you can show and how you can interact. Now look at the commercial rings that they are comfortable and slightly and social accepted, but today's smart rings mostly limited to the digits or icons. So there's a big gap that can we build a lightweight and comfortable rings with a flexible display to support diverse visualization. So to integrate flexible displays on the ring is difficult for three reasons. First, electronics. We need to integrate multiple electronics like display, battery, microcontrollers, either in the limited space. So we design multiple layers PCBs to route the signals. Second, mechanics. To accept the assembly tolerance for the rings are millimeters. So we have to design a step-by-step mechanical and bonding process to maintain the precise alignment. Lastly, visualization. So there's no visualization techniques available for the smart rings. So we created nano visualization libraries to provide high contrast, glanceable tools that work with the minimal pixels and power. So here's the VisRing, the first ring with the bendable OLEDs. So here's a list of features. So we integrate the flexible display that can span 270 degrees to 360 degrees, depends on finger size. And the information is glanceable from any angles. Also, we pair with our nano visualization libraries to support the visualization on the display in our smart rings. Inside, the Bluetooth keep it connected and onboard motion sensors and biometric sensors to enable more healthcare and interaction techniques. Lastly, despite all of them, the ring's average weight is only 6.6 grams, and the total building cost is only about $35. So here's the overview of the VisRing materials. So we have four components. One is a flexible PCB. Second, we have the 160 times 32 pixels bendable OLEDs. Third, we have curved rechargeable batteries. And lastly, we have 3D print housing. So on the right image is the 3D rendering. On the downside is the physical components we built. So let's go through the assembly process step by step. First, we prepare all the electronics, and then with the electronics, we preheat the PCB board on the mini hot plate, and then we can hand solder the curved batteries. And then we attach the bendable OLEDs scaled into the circuit. After that, we wrap the OLEDs inside the outer ring shell carefully. After that, we can slide the flexible and the batteries inside the PCB. With the tweezer, we align the inner strip so everything is fit flush. Finally, we power up the rings and test, and we spelled hello world. So here's the rings, and let me pass to Chris to introduce the nano visualization. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Taiting. So you showed us how we get to build and what goes into building the VisRing. So now we have this novel display with a novel form factor, and our next step was to explore visualizations for this form factor. So for this, we first consider micro visualizations, so the charts you typically know from smartwatches, and they are small and glanceable, so you can read these visualizations very fast. And now we go further, as I said, based on the VisRing to nano visualizations. And they are even smaller. In our case, Taiting already said 160 by 32. And they are very long, so they have a higher aspect ratio. And they can be curved and also partially hidden, for example, by the finger next to the finger you're wearing the ring on. And they can also be private and public at the same time. If you think of it, the inside of your hand and at the outside of your hand, the ring has a display on both ends at the same time. So to start investigating these new nano visualizations, we built a library based on the firmware of the display, and it features bar charts, line charts, radial progress charts, notifications, text, a heart rate visualization, and also decorative patterns, so the ring can be used as a fashion accessory as well. And so with these standard visualizations, we offer a starting point for nano visualizations. And then our next step was to evaluate our work, where we started with some qualitative evaluation with a user study, where we had 12 participants, 6 of them were female, where we had them walking around indoors, and they experienced our ring and the visualizations at the same time. And throughout the study and in an interview afterward, we collected some feedback and some comments by our participants, which brings us to our results. So it was positively received in general, the hardware in general, as well as the visualizations, all of them we showed them, and the brightness and the animation smoothness of the ring was also highlighted as positive. There were some drawbacks they mentioned, like the size and fit, and they were some kind of hesitant to wear it in public, but we kind of expected that because we're at the prototype stage and we also only had one size, so you know how it goes, it doesn't fit everyone. So they also suggested us some nice applications in the future. So first and foremost, health and fitness, then also outdoor activities, notifications were liked a lot as well, and then also psychological like use cases, like for example using the ring as a mood ring or a fidgeting ring for ADHD and stuff like that, and also for fashion and as used for timers. We also evaluated our hardware. So for this we compared our sensors with state-of-the-art smartwatch, and we could show that our sensors are comparable and reliable on all fronts. So I think we showed quite a lot of cool stuff for the VisRing already, but of course there's always more to be done, and some future work possibilities are an in-depth look into one-handed interaction, which we just touched upon slightly in this paper, and also more in-depth look at adaptive privacy, and of course more real-world user evaluation, looking at interaction as well, or maybe even perception. So there's really a lot of stuff to do, and on the hardware side, improvements can be done as well, of course. But in the interest of time, to conclude, we present the first Smartring with a bendable OLED display, define and offer a library for nano visualizations, and show some evaluation, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Taiting and Christian? In the back.
I really enjoy this ring. It looks cool in terms of design and also technology. And I was wondering that what makes this ring rigid? And could it be made fully flexible to fit all people's finger size?
So I think we wouldn't need to make it flexible. I don't know if it's possible. Maybe Taiting can touch upon that. But he has more experience than me with the hardware, of course. And there's the OmniRing paper of Taiting and colleagues. So and they also have just different sizes for the ring. So you can just produce different sizes.
Yeah.
It's cool work. I'm curious that do you think it's a possibility to integrate touch sensing into the small wing with the LED display?
Yeah, absolutely. This is our future work. There's a next paper.
Okay, looking forward to it.
Cedric, did you have a question? Mhm.
Thank you. Also probably for future work, but I think haptics would be nice to have. Did you look into how much you could make it power efficient, like electrostimulation or piezo, I don't know.
Yes, so actually we can add a lot of input sensors, input actuators, for example, the capacity sensor as an input, and also the piezo, and also the microphone and speaker. So, and because of the size, currently we can support, the battery size is a 60 mAh, so, and currently it can last for 2 hours for continuous visualizing, but if you decrease the flash rate and the pixels, I believe it can last for longer time, and then, yeah. And also we can choose some low power consumptions actuators like piezo or the speaker, yeah.
So piezo would be the lowest power haptic actuator?
Not the lowest, but that will be one of options, yeah.
Okay.
I can see many many piezo, they can supply lower power consumption, so it will be one of the options.
So, but what would be the lowest power? Did you look into
For
that?
the lowest power, for the actuators?
Yeah.
I think for the lowest power actuators will be our display, because already integrate.
I mean haptics.
Haptics. For the haptics, yes, we can integrate the vibrator. So we have tested before, and then it's low power and can last for a longer time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, maybe one more question? Yeah.
Yeah, is there possibility to input the, for example, chance? So maybe we can. Yeah, I have the habit of rolling the ring, so I'm not sure if we can create power to this ring. So maybe we'll be battery free.
That will be a possibility, because that when we rotate the ring, it can generate some power, but will be challenging because of the voltage. We need to accumulate the voltage so that it can supply the display, and also because of the other component, the wireless, the Bluetooth. So we need to do some study on that to see whether it is feasible. Yeah.
I see. Thank you.
A super cool work. And Taiting is currently on the job market. That's the special announcement you wanted me to make. And you should 100% talk to the folks at Aura Ring. I don't know if anyone who works at the Aura Ring is here, but I feel like they would love this. Okay, so let's thank our speakers once again. And that is it for